It's so much morning rush here, Friday edition of the show. My name is Desmond Okreku Danso, and I'm here with Nanaya Tanobwachi as always. Today we're talking about food, as I mentioned earlier. Everybody loves food. Zemu, Davido,
Kiki, Fortune, Josiah.
Today, I'm out for but we need to make sure that we're eating safe food, or our food that we're eating is safe. That is why we're celebrating this day called the World Food Safety Day. And so joining us this morning is Dr. Edward Archer from the Food and Drugs Authority. And yes, he'll be telling us about some of the things that we need to know about this particular day and how we should keep our food safe. And I love the theme for this year. I'm going to let him share that with us, and then we'll go into details. We're live on Facebook and Metro TV Ghana. You can watch us live on there. Dr. Archer, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hope you slept well after a brilliant win for the Black Stars.
I think it was great. It was a great game.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. No heartbreaks for now. Now let's talk about food. Wow.
From football to food.
Two beautiful things. Yeah. So World Food Safety Day. How safe, Ghana, how safe is our food? Even from the preparation period to fruits, to all of those things that we consume. How safe is it if we are to rate ourselves?
All right. Thank you very much. Food safety is a process, actually. It starts from the point of production at the farm level, the distribution, the transportation, to the restaurant where the food is prepared, or at home where it's prepared, until it gets to the final consumer. And so it goes to a lot of stakeholders, the hands of various stakeholders. We call them food handlers. So back to your question, food in Ghana can be safe if it is handled well by the various actors along the food chain. And that is the emphasis that we place, to educate people on how to handle food and make it safer for the consumer.
Okay.
Yes.
And as the Chief Regulatory Officer at the FDA, over the years, what are some of the things that you've done to make sure that our foods are safe? I remember that one, the incident that happened where, the one that, was it on that stretch, was it a watchy thing?
Yes.
Yes. And your outfits came in and all that. What have you been doing to make sure that we're consuming good food?
That's fine. So the FDA has deployed multifaceted approach to ensure food safety. So apart from our daily routines in inspections, where we go to the facility, it could be a restaurant, it could be a manufacturing company that is producing food. So long as you're producing food, the FDA would visit you. We visit you to check whether you are adhering to the principles of food safety. And so we have a code of hygiene practices that we would inspect you based on it. We have a checklist. So that is one of the things that we do. And the other leg of it is after the food has been produced and the FDA has registered the product, we have a post-market surveillance team. So basically what they do is that they go out to the market, they check your label requirement, and then they state at which the food is displayed. If it's supposed to be held cold, it should be held cold. It's supposed to be held hot. It's supposed to be at room temperature and all that. So that's the essence of the post-market surveillance team. It's all to make sure that the product that we registered is being sold at the right, condition, and then there's no, adulteration or whatever on the product that after registration of the product. And so that is one of the things that we also do. Apart from that, we do a lot of public education. And I'm happy you have me today to also enlighten the public, the consumers, on food safety, what they can do to make their food safe. So these are many of the things that the FDA does to make sure that the food that we eat or we consume are safe and suitable.
I mean, earlier on you said that it can be safe if we go through the right process. I mean, I have a feeling that some people are not going through the right process. Therefore, we get problems. So my question is, what has been the biggest challenge when it comes to maintaining food safety in Ghana?
Right. I think when I was coming in, I saw something written on your I think, on the wall, that commitment, you know, is very important.
Yeah.
In fact, food safety really, you know, dwells on commitment. Commitment on the part of the stakeholders. I mean, everybody who is handling the food. You should be committed. You should make a deliberate effort to make food safe. Okay, so these are the important things. You do not just have to ignore some of the things that we talk about, knowledge. Okay, the information that we give you, how to handle food. You've gone to buy food from outside. Okay, now the food is hot. You've brought it home. You kept it on your table. You want to go to church and come. By the time you come, maybe bacteria, you know, the germs might have grown and all that. You consume it and you have some stomach abscess and all that. So it is very, very important that everybody makes a deliberate effort to make sure that the food that we eat, you know, it's safe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the day, the World Food Safety Day, that is observed every 7th of June. And this year's theme is very interesting. It says, food safety, prepare for the unexpected. We are going to buy food and we have to anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. Just enlighten us, share with us, you know, the details of that theme.
That's fine. I mean, like you said, it's a very beautiful theme. Food safety, prepare for the unexpected. So it is not just to the consumer. It's not just to the person who is just going to buy the food. I mean, it also highlights the need for proactiveness. Proactiveness on the part of, you know, all of us as public or consumers, all of us as people that go to the market and buy the food. For those of that aspect of the food supply chain, the stakeholders that produce the food, okay, the government, for us as regulators, you know, so all the various actors, we have to prepare for unexpected. Just last month, was it about 2 weeks ago, a colleague of mine, normally he likes dates, so he has some friends from Dubai who normally will bring the dates to him, you know. And he called me and said, well, I heard about the flood, you know, that terrible flood in Dubai. And he was asking my opinion whether he should consume the, you know, the dates that, you know, the family, because, you know, they bring it quite often. And I was like, okay, he has a point, you know, because, I mean, the flood was unexpected. It could have gone to shores. It could have gone to any other place. He's not too sure, you know, and that is the proactiveness that we talk about. Okay. Okay, so he's contemplating, could it be that it's been contaminated, you know, with the flood? You get what I'm saying? So this is the certain, that kind of mindset that we all have to. We have to be asking questions. We have to be proactive. We have to plan, you know, and then prepare for things that we probably have not even unforeseen circumstances that surrounds our food, that can contaminate our food. And when we talk about food contamination, we are talking about the introduction of certain things that are not supposed to be in the food. It could be bacteria. It could be germs that we cannot see with our naked eyes. It could be hair. The last time somebody bought kinky, and he said he found somebody's ring, you know, in the bowl of kinky. And you know, it could be that maybe when they were doing preparing the aflata, maybe, you know. And to be honest with you, people have seen a lot of things, foreign, you know, you know, stuff in food. That means that, you know, people that are preparing food will also have to be proactive, you know, and then protect the food that we consume. That is the surest way that we can ensure that people that are eating food are safe, you know, and then the food that we are eating is suitable as well. So it calls for proactiveness. It calls for, you know, a collaborative effort to ensure that the food that is on the market, the food that is being sold at the restaurant, even the food that we prepare at home, you know, it's safe. Recently, there was a survey that indicated that even there's a lot of foodborne diseases, you know, food-related diseases that is happening from food that we consume at home as well, you know. So it is a collaborative effort that we all have to put together as stakeholders to ensure that the food that we eat is safe.
It's safe.
You know what? One thing that I've realized is like there's climate change, and the rains are coming down, and a whole lot of foodstuffs are getting bad. Now, one of the foodstuffs that has its prices has actually gone high is fresh tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes now is very expensive, 3 for 10 Ghana cedis. Now, so everybody, if you go on social media, everybody's saying that, oh, then we are going to stick to the tin tomato paste. Now, these tin tomato paste, if you're going to stick by it, that means there are different ones going to come from outside into the country. I mean, what measures is the FDA putting into place to make sure that we are choosing the right one? Because you might never know. Maybe we might know where it's coming from, but in terms of consuming that, we are going to substitute that for our fresh tomatoes. What is the FDA doing about that?
Okay, that is fine. Maybe we do not have to narrow down only to tomatoes.
Like I just use that because it's like
exactly.
Just,
but okay, also coming to your point, I mean, the FDA has been very proactive. You know, most of these processing, you know, like for instance, tomato puree processing companies probably are outside the country. I personally just returned from Italy to inspect one of such facilities. You know, so and several other colleagues of mine are going to other countries that bring in such products into the country, and we go there to assess their production lines, their system. You know, we inspect their system to see how robust it is to sustain the food safety. Okay, so these are some of the things, and it's not just tomato paste. You know, it could be other products that are coming in, other products that are produced locally in the country. We have to do this so that we ensure that they are all safe. And then also, we also have to be mindful that, okay, in choosing the products, we have to look at how we're going to handle it, because we keep on saying that if it's a canned product, we have to make sure that, you know, as consumers, it is not dented, the can is not dented, it's not rusting, okay, it's not leaking its content. And these are very important things that we have to be looking out for. So it is not that choosing is, well, pricing comes in, though, but then the most important thing is that making sure that the product is safe. You check the labels to see that it is not expired. And even if it is fresh tomatoes, you want to make sure that you have washed it. If it's for your salad or whatever it is, you wash it so well and then make it safe for your for you.
But before this one comes in general, how is this whole climate change posing a risk to food safety?
I mean, that is a very, very important question. I mean, so for instance, we can use the Dubai incident because it's not something that happens, you know. And remember, we keep on saying that food safety issues can even happen at the farm level. So imagine this level of flood that happened in Dubai, right? And it happened in Ghana. It is going to sweep over surface water, okay? And a whole farmland, like let's say vegetables that has been cultivated, okay? The contaminated water is going to wash over all this. It means that such products are not supposed to be harvested, even for human consumption. Okay, so there's going to be food insecurity as well, food safety issues also, you know, embedded in there. Okay, so that is one. We also have issues about drought. Okay, and if there's drought, we all know the consequences. We are not going to get our food to eat, and then, like we say, food security has some component of food safety. So there are so much. If the temperature is so high, food that's normally, you know, you put at normal temperature is going to be exposed to very high temperature. And the bacteria also have a certain temperature range that they are very active. Okay, and so probably you put the food in a danger zone, and then within a short time, food is going to be deteriorated. And so all these things play into it. Okay, yes, and so that is the essence of making sure that, you know, we are proactive and then we prepare for the unexpected.
All right, so Dr. Acha, this question about, so we've got power issues right now, so if you cook and put it in the fridge, there's been lighter like 3 times, 4 times. Those who are selling fish and chicken in the cold store, it goes off a while. And maybe the thing is getting spoiled about, you know, people do that. How safe are we in this period that we have erratic power supply or doom so, and, you know, our foods? How should we handle that?
I think, to me, this is even more relevant and very practical things that we all have to, you know, be questioned about. Okay. The FDA came out with a policy that, you know, once you are operating a cold store, okay, you should have a standby generator, and people didn't understand it because I imagine you have these frozen items, okay, and then the power goes off. You don't have a standby generator. What is going to happen is that the frozen item is going to thaw, and you are not going to throw it away. People will come and buy it.
Right.
You know, you are waiting for the next time that the power will come on. In our homes, most of us do not have standby generators, okay? So what do we do? These are the things that FDA keeps on emphasizing. So we are all busy in Accra. Everybody is preparing food over the weekend to sustain us throughout the whole weekend, throughout the whole week. So what is going to happen is that because we are not too sure when the power is going to go off, you do not overstock your refrigerator.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't prepare so much and then keep it in the refrigerator, because the power can go off at any time. You're also not going to throw out the food, because if germs are there and they are multiplying, you cannot see that with your naked eyes. So we keep on saying that reduce, you know, stocking of your refrigerator, prepare the small quantity that you can eat at a time, and then keep yourself safe. Okay. At the restaurants, our education goes to them the same way. If they should have a standby refrigerator, though, standby generator. But if you don't have it, don't, you know, prepare too much quantity that you cannot sell in a day, where you have leftovers to keep for the next day. Okay. So these are the things that we can tell people, and then advise them to keep their food safe.
Yeah, so as we're talking about World Food Safety Day, of course, engaging the media, as Doc is doing this morning, is one of the things that the media will also give the platform to the FDA and all other agencies to help with the education. And of course, the police are doing their bit in investigating these issues, so that it doesn't keep recurring, because we want to eat and be good at all times. So Dr. Edward Archer is the Chief Regulatory Officer at the Food and Drugs Authority, who's joined us this morning as we've talked about the World Food Safety Day. The theme says that prepare for the unexpected. So that's food safety, prepare for the unexpected. So when you go out to get food, have it in mind that anything could happen. So it needs to be safe. Whoever is handling a process when it comes to the food chain. Doc, thank you so much for coming through this morning. We appreciate your time.